Good morning. Thank you so much for logging in and joining us for our Vinyasa flow. Today's flow is focused on back bends. Now, back bends, we are working into, obviously, the back. We're also working to strengthen this whole area, which incorporates the core as well. And you need to have good, strong quads and strong glutes to properly support your back bends. In this class, I'm going to be using my blocks. I've got a strap, and I've also got these Mama Kuka straps, which are just small loops to save you basically messing around with your strap and making it smaller. Sometimes this can be a really good way to work into things as well. So if anyone does want any more information about these, just give me a message and let me know. So I've got my Mama Kukas, I've got my blocks, I've got my mat. So set yourself up, get any music on that you want playing in the background, and we're going to start off with some sun salutations. So I want you to come to the top of your mat. Bring the hands together into prayer, tucking the pelvis under, lifting up through the arches of the feet. If you want to, lift the toes, spread the toes wide, and then place the toes back down to the floor. Squeeze your glutes, lengthening through the spine, relax the shoulders down, grow nice and tall through the crown of the head, navel drawing in. Closing the eyes and just taking a few moments here, connecting with your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Slowing down that breath, equalizing the inhale and the exhale. And as you stand here, maybe you'd like to set yourself an intention for your practice, or dedicate the practice to somebody who needs your energy this morning. Whenever you're ready, releasing the hands and opening the eyes. So as I said, we're going to start off with some sun salutations, and again with a focus on our shoulder opening and our back bend. So we'll do more of the kind of Dharma style or Jivamukti or Vinyasa style sun salutations. So interlacing the fingers, index finger out, crossing at the thumbs, soften through the knees, by the way. Don't feel like you have to do these movements with locked out knees. I would much prefer if you soften through the knees as you go through all of these. So inhale, lifting and arching, taking the shoulders back, biceps by the ears, thinking about lifting the chest up. Squeeze your glutes, tuck your tailbone under. If you want to, you can gently rock the shoulders open side to side here. Exhale, arms by the ears. I'm definitely softening through the knees as I fold forward all the way down. Just taking a moment here. You can gently shake the head, gently nod the head, just releasing any tensions from your neck, from your night's sleep, or whatever time you're doing this. Inhale, looking forward, stepping the left foot back, drop the back knee, uncurl the toe, push the hips forward, opening up through the chest. So here you should be feeling this stretch into your hip flexor here, maybe into the quad as well. You may start to incorporate a back bend. If you want to, you can take the hands to the lower back, squeeze the elbows in as you keep pushing those hips forwards. And exhale, bringing the hands down to the floor, tuck the toes, step the foot back, come into your plank. Lower the knees, lower chin and chest. So we keep the seat lifted here. As you can see, I'm in a back bend already. Then I keep the hands in the upper body where it is. I slide the legs back, and then I squeeze the elbows in and lift up into a low cobra. In my low cobra, my arms are soft, my glutes are squeezing. I'm squeezing my back muscles to lift up the upper body. The hands are there for support, but I could take them away. Slowly lower down, tucking the toes, push the seat towards the heels, extending the legs, coming into your downward facing dog. And we're just going to start by pedaling through the feet, warming up into the backs of the legs, pushing the belly towards the thighs, warming up into the upper body. This is just a really lovely posture to start getting to work into everything. Taking a few moments here. And then on your next inhale, we come forwards to a plank. And exhale, chaturanga. You can drop the knees if you want to. This one, we keep the pelvis tucking under, lowering forwards and down. Inhale, coming into our upward facing dog, lifting the knees, lifting the hips, shoulders back. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Again, pedal through the feet. Taking a few moments here. feeling the body starting to warm up nicely. Inhale, looking forward, stepping the left foot forward, bringing the knee towards the chest, coming forward. If you need to, grab the back of the heel and use your hand to help bring it down. Drop the back knee, open up through the chest, and again, doing any variation of this pose that you like this morning. Starting to open up into the hip flexor, into the back, into the chest, lifting the chest up nice and high. And exhale, bringing the hands down to the floor, tuck the toes of the back foot, stepping the back foot forwards and folding. Again, bend the knees as much as you need to, and relax through the back of the neck. Taking your pistol grip, soften it through the knees, inhale forwards and up, squeeze the glutes on the way up, squeeze, 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 lift the chest. And exhale, Samasthiti. And we'll go again, other side. Inhale, lift and arch. Exhale, biceps by the ears, folding all the way forwards. Inhale, looking forward, stepping the right foot back. Drop the back knee and curl the toe. Any variation of this pose that you like. Maybe the hands on top of the knees and we keep pushing forwards. Now, don't worry too much about the placement of the ankle compared to the knee. It doesn't really matter too much. What matters is where you're feeling this. And you should be feeling this in your hip flexor. Maybe you're feeling it in your back if you're opening up through the chest. If you like, taking the hands behind the head and push the back of the head into the hands. Staying here for just a few breaths. And exhale, bringing the hands down to the floor, tucking the toes, stepping the foot back. Find your way into your plank and then lower knees, chin, chest. Again, we want to keep the seat lifting just for a moment as we work into this back bend here. Sliding the legs back, coming into our low cobra, elbows squeezing in. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the back muscles. Imagine you're going to take your hands away. So just squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forward to your plank. And exhale, chaturanga, hovering off the floor. Inhale, coming forwards and up, upward facing dog. Lift the knees, lift the hips, shoulders back. And exhale, downward facing dog. And again, just taking a few moments here, pedaling through the feet. Doing whatever you want to do to relieve any tensions in the body. Maybe you'd like to come into a twist, reaching the right hand across to the left ankle, or if that's too much, bend the knees and hold a bit higher. Just coming into this twist here. Gazing underneath the armpit. If you're doing one side, make sure you switch to the other side as well. Coming back into the center. And we're looking forward, bringing the right knee towards the right chest, shift the weight forward and then step the foot down. As always, using your hand to help get it there if you need to, pushing the hips forwards. And again, if you want to, take the hands behind the head, pushing the head into the hands, lifting up the chest. We're thinking about really lengthening in this pose. So instead of thinking about just taking the head back towards the foot, thinking about breathing space in between all of these vertebrae. And see how that feels and changes your back bend. Holding it here for a few breaths. Keep pushing the hips forwards. Keep pushing the head back. Holding it for 2. And 1. Exhale, bringing the hands down, stepping the back foot forwards. And fold. Again, soften the knees. Squeeze the glutes, take your pistol grip. Reaching the hands forwards and up, squeeze, 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 lift the chest, shoulders back. And exhale, Samasthiti. Good. Now, with our back bends, everyone has different anatomy as to what your spine looks like, and we're not going to know that unless we x-ray all of us, which I'm not recommending. But in our spinal column, we have our spinal processes which stick out, and that is going to dictate how much we can bend our back. For some people, they'll bend it a long way before those spinal processes start to touch and we get compression. For other people, it will look a bit more like this kind of shape and they won't have as far to go. So for some of you, you may be able to go deeper into your back bends over time, but not everyone is going to be the same in these poses. So just thinking about yourself and your own yoga journey, we don't push ourselves too far. You may be feeling a stretch into the muscles in your back bend. Personally, I don't feel very much in my muscles, maybe sometimes in my core as I'm stretching back, but the back muscles, I don't really feel very much kind of tension as I'm bending that way. But you may also find that you feel compression, where you've got bone on bone, and for you, if you reach that point, that is your limit. So no amount of breathing into it's going to get you any further than that, but that is okay. We're working all on our own yoga journey here. Okay, we're going to do 2 more rounds of sun salutations. This time we're going to hook at the thumbs, spread the fingers wide, and open up this way. As we come forwards, we interlace the fingers behind and bring the fist up and over. Now, this movement, this interlacing, is not going to suit everyone, so if you can't do that, just stay with the last variation of coming up and coming down here is still good. So standing at the top of your mat, hooking the thumbs, inhale, lift and arch, squeeze your bum. Exhale, folding forward, interlace the fingers, lift the fist up and over, giving a good stretch into the shoulders as you forward fold. Inhale, hands to the floor, looking forward, step the left foot back, drop the back knee, uncurl the toe, lifting up the chest. Maybe you still want to stay here. Maybe you're ready to work into this quad a bit as well. You can lift the hip up and back a bit, reach back, grab the foot. If you can't grab the foot, use a strap. Pull the foot in towards the hip and then sink the hips forward. You'll find you won't be able to go half as far, but that's okay. You can use 2 hands, you can use 1. If you want to go for the mermaid grip, you bring in the toes into the crease of the elbow, interlace fingers here, and open up like this. Just taking 2 more breaths as you sink forwards. And exhale, release. Stepping the foot back, come into your plank. Lower knees, lower chin and chest. Slide the legs back, inhaling into your low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From here, inhale forwards, back into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale forwards and up, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Again, you can pedal through the feet, you can take a few moments here, you can push the belly towards the thighs, working through the shoulders. Take a few moments to do whatever your body feels like it needs to do this morning. One more breath here. And then we come forwards, bringing the left knee towards the chest, shift the weight forward, 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 step the foot down, drop the back knee, uncurl the toe. Opening up, maybe we work into our quad. So finding it, even if it's here, just making sure you feel that stretch all down the front of this thigh. And we sink the hips forward only when we have the ankle here. If you come here and then leave the ankle behind you and push forward, you probably won't get as much of a quad stretch. So take your time. Holding it here, opening up through the chest. Hold it for 2. And 1. Exhale, releasing the hands down. Stepping the back foot forwards and fold. Inhale, hook the thumbs, soften through the knees, squeeze your bum, lift and arch. Chest up nice and high. And exhale, Samasthiti. Okay, last round. Inhale, lift and arch. Exhale, soften through the knees, interlace the fingers, lift the fist up and over. Taking the hands to the floor, inhale, step the right foot back. Drop the back knee and curl the toe. Any of the variations of this pose that you liked, I'll show you another one. You can use a strap. We bring it underneath our armpits. We hold the strap forwards. And then from here, we're thinking about lifting up. And this movement, holding onto the strap, is going to help us to find a bit more length in our back bend. So you can do this one if you like, or choose any of the other variations that you enjoyed. If you have your mama kukas and you want to work into those, you can hook your foot, you can start pulling the foot towards the body, you can start working into your mermaid bind, any of those things. It's just a bit easier to do that with those than with the big strap. Nice, last breath. And exhale, coming down, tuck the toes, step the foot back, come into your plank, lower knees, lower chin and chest. Slide the legs back, inhale, low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes. Push seat towards the heels, extend the legs, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, forwards and up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, inhale, stepping the right foot forwards. Drop the back knee and curl the toe. If you're using your strap, grab your strap. Finding the strap underneath the armpits. Using your strap to help lift and lengthen as you come into your back bend. You can stay like that or do any of the other variations that you like this morning. Holding it for 2 more breaths. And exhale, release, stepping the foot forwards and fold. Keeping the knees nice and soft, squeeze your glutes, hook your thumbs, inhaling, lifting and arching, coming all the way up, lift the chest, squeeze the glutes. And exhale, Samasthiti. Good, take a breath, hopefully feeling nice and warm into our legs now, into our back. We're going to start off with some standing side bends and a back bend. So if you want to use your block, you take the block up, and you squeeze the block with the thighs. This is going to help keep the core strong. It's going to help us keep this tilt of our pelvis. If you don't have a block or you don't want to use this one, then that's fine. Otherwise, you stay with me, interlace the fingers, crossing up the thumbs, index finger out, and reach the hands up here. So you can do a little wiggle side to side, getting nice and warmed up into our spine. And we're coming into our side bends. So as you inhale, think about breathing space in between the vertebrae here. And as you exhale, we push the hips over in one direction as we reach the arms into the other. Now we try not to let this arm drop over. We try not to let this hip drop in. So keep checking in. Have a look at what your body's doing. Imagining you're standing between 2 walls. There's no leaning forwards. Hold it for 3. See if you can go lower. 2, 1. And inhale slowly, coming all the way up. Again, give your spine a wiggle if you need to. Inhale, lengthen through the body. And exhale, reaching up and over, pushing the hips in the opposite direction. Squeeze your block if you have your block. Hold it for 3. See if you can go lower. 2, 1. And release. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, releasing the hands. So you can keep your block. If you feel fine and comfortable on your back bends, you can stay with the pistol grip. We lift as we draw a line across the ceiling with our fingers and keep lifting the chest up. Squeeze your glutes. If you need to, give them a poke. Say you need to be working. Give them some sensory feedback to keep you going. Otherwise, if you have any back or neck issues, we're going to step the feet hip distance. We're going to take the hands to the lower back. You can keep the chin to the chest as you squeeze the glutes and lift the chest up, or if you feel okay, you can take the head back. So choose a variation of that pose that suits your body, however you're feeling today. Finding it, setting it up, and on your next inhale, we lift and arc. Squeeze your glutes, hold it for 3, 2, and 1. And inhale, slowly come back to the center, release your block, take your feet hip distance, soften through the knees, take hold of opposite elbow, and we fold forwards. Again, you can give your upper body a bit of a wiggle, just releasing any tensions from those movements. You can gently shift the weight from side to side as you bring the elbows on the outside of your feet, just rocking, shifting the weight from one foot to the other. If you like, you can bring the hands to the lower back, make the hands into fists, gently massage. And slowly release, gently rolling up through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. So the head and the shoulders are the last things to lift and we come up to stand. So if you have some wall space, you can use some wall space. If you don't want to use the wall, you want to use a windowsill or a table, something like that, then go ahead and do that. We're working into opening up through the shoulders next. So we can bring the hands onto a ledge and we start to drop the chest forwards as we keep the hands lifting up. Now if you want to use a wall, then we start by bringing the hands to the wall. And as I said, we all have different anatomy. So for some people, you'll want the hands a bit closer. For some people, you'll want the hands a bit wider. So just do your own assessment as to what feels the best for you. You're getting a good stretch. So So we take the hands to the wall and then we bring the chest down. So maybe this is okay for you. You can step a little bit further away from the wall. Someone asked me yesterday if my mat was grippy. Well, did you just see me try and move my foot then? It's got good grip. Okay, you can take the feet a bit wider, a bit further away, and then we're pushing the shoulders and the armpits towards the wall and coming down. So just finding whatever is good for you. And remember, it doesn't have to be a static pose. If you gently want to push in and ease out and make this a moving pose, that's fine as well. Making sure whatever you do is working for you, adjust it if it's not. And we're holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And slowly release. Give yourself a hug, wrap the arms around. Maybe we take hold of our shoulder blades, give ourselves a bit of a massage if you can reach that far around. And then release the arms, give the arms a shake. Good. We're finding our way down to the floor now. We're going to go through a vinyasa. So interlacing the fingers, inhale, lift and arch, squeeze the glutes. And exhale, soften through the knees, folding forwards. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking forward, step the feet back into your plank, and exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, forwards and up, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank, and exhale, lower the knees, looking forwards. So another way we're going to work into our shoulders. If you have a strap, grab your strap. If you have a dressing gown belt instead, or a long sock, or I don't know, anything kind of this shape that can work as a strap if you don't have one, and just grab something. And for some people, maybe you want to do this here. I'm recommending everyone start a bit wider than that and just notice how your shoulders feel in your mobility. So we're going to bring the shoulders up and round, and we're going to go over a few times here. This is a really nice way to work into your shoulder flexibility. And also, you can monitor it over time, because over time you're going to probably be able to bring your hands a bit closer as well. So we're going to do a few there. I want you to try noticing if you get to here and then you really push your head forward and then come back. Try not to do that, just take the hands a bit wider. You should be able to maintain a strong core, squeeze your glutes, and there shouldn't be too much action from the rest of the body. We're just isolating and working through the shoulders. Another thing that I see people do is to kind of take one shoulder over and then the other. Try move the shoulders together. So have a go. Maybe do 3 or 4. See if you can bring your hands a bit closer together, and then see about doing another 3 or 4. See what you've got in you this morning. Opening up through the upper body, but taking it gently at your pace. Okay, last one. And then we'll release, give the shoulders a nice shake. Good, we're finding our way to lie down on our belly. We're working into the strength of the muscles in the lower back, and with strength into our glutes as well. So we're going to do 5 rounds of this posture, maybe 6, haven't decided yet. So I'll show you what we're going to do first, and then you can have a look at me before you lie down on your belly. So we lie down, I'm going to take the feet, it doesn't really matter how close they are together, whatever suits you. And we want to squeeze the glutes, squeeze these muscles here. We lift the head, we lift the chest, we lift the feet. We try to keep lifting everything up higher, higher, higher. And then we lower down. You can rest one ear to the floor. Then we come back to the center. You interlace your fingers. Again, this movement isn't possible for everyone. So if this doesn't work for you, you can stay with this one. Then we lift the fist up away from the bum, pushing the fist back, and then you can lift the legs up. So again, we're going to hold here. This is round 2. Round 3, I want you to bend the knees, reach back. Maybe you can take hold of the ankles. And for the first one, I want you to try keeping the thighs on the floor, but use the strength in your legs. So you're doing this to help pull your body up, squeezing the glutes, pushing back through the heels. And again, this is one where the mamakukas come in really handy, because if you can't quite reach the leg, And these come in different sizes as well. You get like a pack, so it doesn't have to be even that close. So you do that one, and then we're working on lifting the knee off the floor and think about bringing the feet up. So it looks more like this. So you can see it kind of looks like the same pose a bit because we're still reaching back, holding onto the ankles. But instead of taking the foot back this way, I'm thinking about pushing the foot up towards the sky. And I use the tension, pulling on my arms, pulling on the legs to help me to get there. And for this, I keep the weight about halfway between my hips and my ribs. So if you have got bony hips like me and you want to put a towel down to soften so that doesn't feel too uncomfortable, you can do that as well. So what's that then? That's 4. So then for the 5th one, if you took the hands on the inside for the last one, you can take them for the outside for the next one. And then for our final one, our bonus 6th exercise of that sequence, we're going to rock over one shoulder and then the other. So it looks like this. We come up, we rock over the one shoulder, we still keep our back bend, we still keep over our ankles, we come back and we do the other side. So find your way to lie down onto your belly, taking a few breaths there, reaching the hands by the side, palms facing up, taking the legs as wide as you like them. On your next inhale, lifting up the feet, keep the legs straight, lifting up the arms and hold it here for 3. See if you can lift even higher. Really squeeze the glute, straighten the legs, squeeze your muscles. 2, 1. And release. Relax one ear down to the floor, taking a few breaths here. Good. Finding your way back to the center, interlace the fingers. Round 2, we take the fist away from the bum and lift it up, lift the legs, squeezing everything, hold it for 3. See if you can lift even higher. 2 and 1. Slowly lower down, taking a breath, relaxing the other ear to the floor maybe. Now bending at the legs, flexing through the feet, reach the hands back. Remember for the first one, we want to try keeping the thighs to the floor as much as we can, and we're doing this action, taking the leg back. So lift the chest up by pulling the legs back, hold it for 3, keep pulling, pulling, pulling. 2, 1, and release down. Bringing the ear to the floor, take a few moments. If you want to rock the hips in between, go ahead. If you feel like you need to put movement into your body, then do that, don't wait for me. Next, we bend the knees. We can grab the outside of the feet. You can take hold of the inside, just pick one. We're going to do the other one as well. And on your next inhale, lifting up. Hold it for 3, make sure the weight is forward this time, and we keep extending the feet up to the sky. 2, see if you can pull even more. 1, and release down. Taking a moment here, setting yourself up for your final pose. So again, whatever props you want to use for this. And on your next inhale, we lift up. 3, 2, and 1. And we slowly release down. Finding a pillow with your hands. You can gently rock the legs from side to side, releasing any tensions here. Maybe we bring one knee out to the side, we look in the opposite direction, coming into a gentle twist. With the foot and the knee to the floor, and we look in the opposite direction to the knee. We come back to the center, we do the other side. Taking a few moments here. And these poses, they don't really look like very cardio poses, but they do get the heart rate going. They do get you a bit out of breath, so don't worry if that's how you're feeling. And slowly releasing. Good. We're going to stay lying on our belly for the moment, we're going to work into a spinal twist and also a shoulder opener. So we've worked into our shoulders, opening them up this way. This time we're working to shoulders, opening them up this way. You're lying on your belly, you're taking the arms like a cactus arm like this, and I'll show you some options before you get into this one. So you can lie like this. You can look in the opposite direction to the arm we're focusing on. I'm going to do my left arm first. Then I can bring the knee out towards the side. Now for some people this is going to be enough. You're going to be really feeling this in your shoulder, so if that's you, stay there. Otherwise I use my right hand pushing down into the floor. I can step this foot up and over, and I can work into a spinal twist at the same time. So lie on your belly, finding the variation of this pose that suits you today, and lifting up and over, holding it here for 3, 2, and 1. And gently come back to the center, finding your way into the same pose on the other side. Shuffle over if you need to, if you haven't got enough room like me. And finding your way into the same pose. Holding it for 3, 2, and 1. And gently make your way back into the center and push the seat back towards the heels. So we're going to do a gentle seated spinal twist from here. So I'm sitting on the knees. If you like a different variation of the legs, go ahead. I'm going to reach the hand behind me, maybe to my lower back. Maybe I take it to a block, or if I can reach the floor. Take my right hand into a fist and use the back of the fist against my knee, or if that's no good, I can take my hand to my thigh and open up through the chest this way. Every inhale growing nice and tall, and every exhale twisting a little bit more. Inhale, coming back into the center, and doing the other side. And inhale, coming back to the center. Good. So for the next pose, we are working to another back bend. There are, of course, some options. So I'm going to show you those first, and then you can decide which one you're working into. You can build it up nice and slowly. You can stay with the same option every single time. This is your practice. We're going to do 3 rounds of this one, so make it work for you. Remember to move this before I lie on it and break it. So we're going to lie on our backs. Have a look at me before you lie down. We start off here. We take the feet in close towards the body. We can tuck the pelvis under, lift up the hips. So this might be your option here. If you like, otherwise you can interlace the fingers, rock the shoulders under, and then see if you can lift the hips a bit higher. If you want to go further, maybe we take the hands into the middle back. You can take the feet a bit closer. This is more supported, but you need to have your stronger back bend to be able to lift the hips high enough. If you want instead, you can hold onto the ankles, and again we keep pushing the hips up this way. So there's some options of your Setu Bandhasana. If you are working into your full wheel pose, we can take the hands by the ears. If that's already too much, take the fingers the other way first as you come onto your head. Now, when we bring the hands to the side, again, as I always tell you, everyone's shoulders are different. So for some people, they will need to take the hands wider. Some people are quite comfortable with the hands by the shoulders. So if this doesn't work for you, then, by all means, adapt it to suit your body. So I come here, I lift up the hips, push through the hands and come onto the top of my head. I can make any adjustment with my hands if I need to. So if I started off here, then I want to turn the hands around now. When I get to here, I squeeze the glutes, I push through the arms, I lift up and push the shoulders. So I'm squeezing the glutes, I'm up on my tiptoes, I'm pushing the body this way. If you come to here, maybe you want to go further, you can lift up one leg. Maybe that's okay and you want to try lifting up an arm. Just make it work for you. And if you're working into your drop back, oh, there we go. If you're working into your drop back, which is where you stand up from here and reach the arms back and fall into your bridge. I say fall. We're not falling, we're going into it with some control. You can work on that, and a good way is to use a wall to work into this. So I'm hoping to do a full workshop on backbends soon, where we'll talk about this a bit more. But if you are working into this, it's in your practice already and you're confident to go ahead, then you can bring the hands onto the wall and gently over time work the hands down until you come to your bridge. So loads of options there. Find your way to lie down on your back. At this point, I just want you to work where you're comfortable. Challenge your limits, but don't feel like you need to go into anything that's too much, especially if you don't feel like you know enough about it. Lying on your back, bending the knees, take the feet in, choosing your variation. Remember, we've got 3 rounds of this, so you can start off where you're comfortable and build it up from there. Lifting the hips up, tuck the pelvis under. Choose any variation that you like. Lifting the hips nice and high, squeezing the glutes, holding it here for 3. 2. And 1. And slowly releasing the hips down. Again, maybe you want to do the same. Maybe you want to mix it up. So on your next inhale, lifting up. Finding your pose. Hold it for 3. 2. 1. And gently releasing down, setting up for your final variation. I'm going to do my drop back, so if you wondered what that looks like, then you can have a look at this or rewind it. Choosing your final variation and lifting up whenever you're ready. Count 3 breaths, do the breathing on your own. I'm not going to talk on this one. Ever so glamorous. And slowly releasing. Hugging the knees in towards your chest. You can gently take the knees side to side, massaging into the lower back here. You can do some circles with the knees. Take some circles the other way. And now I want you to really round your spine, lift the head up. Hold onto the backs of the knees and just gently start to rock up and down the length of the spine. Do this a few times. It feels really nice after your back bend. Until you come all the way up to sit nice and tall. Give yourself a hug. Good, we're working into another spinal twist now. So I'm going to extend one leg forwards, bending one knee in towards my chest. Then I'm going to step the foot up and over. If this is too much, you come back to this one. From there, if you want to go even further, you can lift up the hip, bend the leg around and sit back down again. Again, if this is too much, just go back to the last one. I take the right hand behind me, I lift up my left arm, and then take the elbow to the outside of the knee. I'm pushing my elbow against my knee to help open up into my twist, and I'm gazing over the shoulder behind me. So you can stay like this, or maybe if you have the bind in your practice, you want to take the bind, then go ahead. Holding it here for 3, 2, and 1. Keeping the legs as they are, coming back into the center. Reach the left hand behind you. Right elbow comes on the inside of the right knee. And then maybe you want to rest the hand to the hip. So you gaze over the opposite shoulder. A much gentler spinal twist for you. Holding it for 2. And 1. Inhale, coming back into the center. finding your way into the other side. If you know a cool, fun way to get there, go ahead. Otherwise, setting it up same as you did the last side, bending the left leg. Maybe this is for you, and you work into your twist from here. Otherwise, stepping it over, maybe here, or lifting up the hip, bending the leg and sitting down. Finding the one that works best for your body. Choosing if you're going to take the bind or not. Every inhale lengthening, every exhale twisting. Holding it here for 2 and 1. Inhale, coming forwards, reaching the hand behind you, taking the left elbow on the inside of the left knee, dropping the hand to the hip, take the gaze behind you, taking a few breaths in this gentle variation of your twist. Slowly coming back into the center and releasing the legs. Good. We are going to come down to the floor now. As I said, it's important to make sure you have a strong core in our back bends as well as strong glutes. So we've done a lot of squeeze in our glutes. Now we're doing a bonus core exercise. So reach the legs in front of you, flex the feet towards the body, reaching the hands up. And we're going to slowly lower down for a count of 5. 4, so no cheating. It doesn't matter if you're shaking, it's okay. 3, curving through the back as we're lowering down. 2, really using that strength in our core. Holding it nice and low, lift one leg. And release. Lift one leg. And release. If you've got one more and you do one more. And then we slowly lower all the way down onto our backs. Good, we've got one more spinal twist to finish off with. A really nice way to treat our bodies after all those back bends. We hug the knees in towards the chest. Now, if you want to, you can keep the legs like this and bring the legs up and over. As we gaze in the opposite direction, you can do these cactus arms again. You can put the knees onto a block if you want to, if you need a bit more support. If you prefer, you want to work into Garudasana, eagle legs, you can do this variation. You can also take the hand on top of the thigh if it helps you to find a bit of a deeper stretch here. Just choosing any variation that you know that you enjoy. And we hold it here. Closing the eyes if you like, taking some time, enjoying this pose, opening up into the body. And then we find our way into the other side. If you're doing your eagle legs, uncross them, cross them the other way, lift the legs up and over. Gently finding your way back into the center. And then settle yourself into your Shavasana. If you feel like your lower back needs a bit more support than your usual Shavasana here, then just take the feet as wide as the mat, tuck the tailbone under and let the knees drop in, and you can have the hands by the side. Otherwise, enjoy your full Shavasana if it feels good on your body. And as you lie here, just taking a moment, maybe remembering the intention that you set for yourself or the person that you wanted to dedicate your practice to. Take a few deep breaths and then just come back to your usual breathing pattern. Settling into stillness. Whenever you're ready, draw the legs together, point the toes. Reach the arms over your head, give yourself a stretch, fingers to toes. Bend the knees in towards the chest. And we're going to gently rock up and down the length of the spine until we come up to sit. I'm taking a few rocks there if you like that pose. Finding a way to sit, bringing the hands to the heart center. Namaste. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Please do share on social media. I love seeing you practicing. I love seeing your space where you're doing your yoga today. So do tag me, and I'll see you guys on Sunday.